Make Something Monday Easter wreath add-on. Add-on is the key word. I made this wreath a couple of years ago. I bought the wreath, which was already a twine wreath. Then I bought the flowers, artificial flowers, of course, and then plastic Easter eggs, and hot glued all of them in an arrangement that I liked. So what you're seeing here is what I'm adding on to freshen up this wreath by adding a word. And this word is going to be spelled out using, as you see here, this beaded vine. The beaded vine you can buy at any craft store, or where I purchased this particular wire is from Dollar Tree. They always have great little craft things there that don't cost too much, and I wanted to use up some of my craft supplies and decided, okay, I'm going to see if I can spell out a letter or word, spell out a word, and each one is letter by letter, as you can see there. So starting out with the letter B, if you can tell, and the next one was L. I'm cutting my wire using the needle nose pliers, and I'm bending things into shape as needed, twisting it. The next, there's a B, there's an L, and now I'm adding the letter E. So it's almost like sewing. I'm just pulling them through and twisting them together to create the letters needed. Now it helps to know cursive, because that's what I'm using, are cursive letters, lowercase cursive letters. Now this fourth letter is actually an E, and I thought later, oops, I didn't need an E, I needed an S. So B-L-E-S is the next letter that's going to be, and I'll end up reshaping it into that letter that I need. And the next one is an S. As you see, I'm just connecting each piece to each other, twisting that wire together, pulling it through the letter, however I can get it to connect by twisting and pulling through. And I actually am twisting back, going back to the other letters, using up that excess wire to fill in with some gaps that I see. So I'm bending it, folding it as needed. I sped up the time, believe it or not, because this was actually taking longer than I expected, and I knew you didn't want to stay here all day watching me bend wire. So it's actually sped up. So I'm realizing that letters there. Now, looking at my letters, I'm guesstimating. I look at what I have, I get started with the twist, and then see how much I need for the next letter, and then cut. So it's just guesstimating. Not really knowing exactly what I need, but having an idea of what's going to be needed to make that letter, and then twisting it and forming it as needed to go to the next letter. So far the letters are B, L, E, S, S. Anybody want to guess the next letter? It's going to be E, okay? B, L, E, S, S, E, and the last letter will be D. So the word's going to spell blessed. Just seemed like a nice, simple thing to create, to put on my wreath. We would hope that as the Easter season is here, that we are blessed. You're blessed. I'm blessed. We're blessed to be alive, blessed to know God, blessed to have family, friends in our lives, blessed to have breath in our lungs, blessed to be able to keep walking. See, there's my D. I'm holding it up, showing you the whole thing. We're blessed in so many ways, and something that's important is to count our blessings. So right now it looks like a little bit of a mess, just a lot of curled up wire, but I do go in there and move it around a little bit more to make it more defined, and you'll see that later on in the video. I'm twisting what's left of the wire that I had to strengthen these letters, going in and adding some more, like I said, sewing, pulling it through, bending it, twisting it to form those letters as I need them. And there you have it. Got my letters. Blessed. B-L-E-S-S-E-D. This was a challenge, but I got it done. Now there's one extra step. You see, I'm showing you white paint right here. I'm about to paint lightly using that flat brush. I show you the two different brushes. A wider, flatter brush is better for what I'm about to do. I'm going to take that brush and lightly paint over all the letters and even the beading. Why? Because I held it up to the wreath and it just blended in with the wreath and you couldn't see the lettering. It just looked like wire. So to create some contrast, the white being Easter is appropriate, just lightly coloring all the wire and the beads, softening it up so it's a nice contrast when placed on the wreath. So as you can see, I'm just lightly covering all the wire area as much as I can see. Not too heavy. Okay, I'm closing up the paint, and now I'm going to pick up some paper towel. I move that wire that's out of the way, and I very lightly dab the paint off because I don't want it too heavy or too strong, just enough to create that contrast. So I'm dabbing it lightly all over to gather up some of that excess paint. And there you go, you can see. There it is, the completed wreath, blessed. Blessed is the man who trusts in the Lord, whose trust is the Lord. Jeremiah 17:7.